Hello there, I'm Adam Jones. But enough about my problems. This is VID-O-RAMA, where we remember the VHS releases of the past in graphic detail. What does that mean? Well, each month I paint a tribute to a movie from the past, and today we're going way back to 2014 and painting a tribute to WolfCop. If you've watched my other videos, you will already know the drill, but for those that have just joined us, I rewatch the movie and sketch out some layout ideas, elements from the movie that I would like included, and then once I'm happy with the final image, I transfer the sketch onto thin card for painting. I use acrylic paint, and the colours I'm using today are Mars Black, Titanium White and Rose Madder. I use pen for detail. And as you can see, at times I use my finger to apply the paint when I want an especially thin layer. This is simply because my scanner will pick up thick paint strokes. Okay, the movie. WolfCop is set in the fictional Canadian town of Woodhaven, and it features Lou Garou, the town's alcoholic sheriff, whom, while investigating reports of a satanic ritual, finds himself in the middle of the ceremony and is cursed with lycanthropy, destined to transform into a werewolf when the moon is full. With his new abilities and souped up police car, he transforms into a badass wolf cop, intercepting crime and putting the local meth factory out of commission. Unaware of a darker underlying force running through the town and their ancient ceremony involving a sacrifice of werewolves. As ever, no spoilers, but it's a great movie and I urge you to check it out if you haven't already. It had me harking back to Werewolves on Wheels, a brilliantly fun merging of two genres. This one is part horror movie, part cop movie and part comic book movie, which also delivers the all-important requirement in any werewolf movie, an impressive looking werewolf. It's about time we had a werewolf movie feature on the channel. The title is perfect. Not only does it tell you exactly what you're getting, but it also confirms what we've long known, that the word cop automatically elevates a movie, and if placed with other words such as robo, demon or samurai, your film will sound way cooler. I love painting monsters, creatures of any kind. I love painting attractive women, but I also love painting the moon. 2 out of 3, not bad. I'm actually painting this during a full moon. Now with my white pen I add some lunar craters, paying particular attention to the craters Copernicus and Kepler. Naturally a full moon must feature in a werewolf movie, but an eclipse also plays a part in this one and I wanted to incorporate that into the piece, placing a sheriff badge in the place of the sun. Symbolism. Now I'm painting our hero's fur. I do this much the same way as I would paint any hairy or fluffy creature. An initial colour is added and I then dry brush a lighter or darker colour accordingly. It creates a soft, fluffy look, as previously discussed in my recent Gremlins video. This film follows a long line of great horror movies to come from Canada. WolfCop was written and directed by Canadian filmmaker Lowell Dean. Dean, who had made his directing debut with 13 Eerie, had noticed that there hadn't been a classic Wolfman in years, and so he wrote a Wolfman movie script. He would later combine this with a cop movie script that he was also working on at the time. He partnered with Saskatchewan production company Echolands Creative and they shot a concept trailer to raise money for the feature. Then, while looking for a way to finance it, they discovered Cinecoup, an online social media competition where filmmakers submitted trailers. Competing for votes, the winner would receive a budget of up to $1 million to make the movie and would be guaranteed a theatrical release in Canada. They submitted their trailer. 3 months and 90 teams later, WolfCop was selected and production began. A lot of hard work and dedication went into this movie. Filming began in October of 2013 and they braved the cold weather and shot the movie in 17 days, wrapping on Halloween night. Dean wanted a Saskatchewan feel to this movie, and so various locations around Regina, which had previously been used in 13 Eerie, were used and repurposed. Most of the film is practical effects. CGI was used sparingly and good on them for that. Dean believed that since the advent of CGI, the werewolf had just become a digital creation and so set out to make it a practical effect again. harking back to such movies as Universal's Wolfman, An American Werewolf in London, and Teen Wolf. Teen Wolf is a clear influence in the movie, and Dean said he was obsessed with the movie when he was 8 years of age. Thanks to convention appearances and pre-production videos and photos being released on social media, WolfCop had established a loyal fan base before the movie had even been released. The response was so encouraging, in fact, that a sequel was already in production when WolfCop was released in cinemas, adding the light to the eyes and some highlights to the face. The movie did very well, and in 2017 it was followed by another WolfCop called Another WolfCop, taking the franchise to another level. I'm convinced that had this movie come out 30 years ago, it would have had its own animated series and action figure line. This magnificent beast was designed by creature makeup effects artist Emerson Ziffel, who had his start working on indie movies before moving on to work on such movies as The Tall Man, Vampire Dog, Krampus, Curse of Chucky, and on Dean's 13 Eerie. Dean believed him to be the obvious choice for creating WolfCop, and so Ziffel was able to realise a childhood ambition to someday create a werewolf feature. He took a concept drawing done by Dean and he produced the WolfCop look, which was updated slightly after the original trailer. It took him 4 weeks to sculpt the face, cowl, hands, teeth and muscle suit. Seemed wrong to not include a gun. Although the movie spoofs action movies and the cop genre, I wanted to focus a little more on the horror aspect of it. Back in 2019, WolfCop featured on the Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs, and so the movie is covered in issue 12 of the Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs fanzine. It features articles and artwork by many talented people, and it also features this very painting. Follow the link in the description and order your copy today. Another month and another pentagram. I've been asked about my paint palettes. I use old CDs, CD-ROMs and DVDs. They have a flat plastic surface which is ideal for mixing paint, and they even have a handy little hole in the middle for you to hold. As an artist, I'm constantly making good use of the things that I find. Things that the everyday folks leave behind. The movie has a great cast, both dramatic and comedic, but for me it was Regina-based actor Leo Fafard who carried it. Not only was he happy to don the WolfCop suit, but he was also great as Lou the cop, dealing with depression and alcoholism and trying to make sense of his new powers. This wasn't his first werewolf role. In 2010 he played a werewolf in a music video for the Saskatchewan band Ra Ra, which was also directed by Dean, and at the end of the shoot Dean offered him the WolfCop role. Fafard instantly accepted it. The music video was for the song Henry, and it can be found here on YouTube. It's actually fairly well documented that when they started filming it would take 5 hours to apply the WolfCop makeup. They eventually brought it down to around 2 hours, and Fafard would happily fall asleep during the makeup process. Fafard was also responsible for customising the Wolf Cruiser. He had worked as a welder in the past and been a backyard mechanic for some years, and so he customised it to look the way it did, in the welding shop he had in his garage. Now that I've painted his face, I mix in some grey to the original colour and add a 5 o'clock shadow. I wanted to show off some of that amazing transformation scene, the way the skin would tear away. But I also wanted to have him standing by a bar. Aside from referencing his compulsion for drinking, I thought it might serve as a little nod to the original trailer. The transformation scene is certainly memorable and one of the best since An American Werewolf in London. Dean and Ziffel compiled a list of transformation shots that they would like to have seen in a werewolf movie, but due to the limited budget they knew they would only be able to use a few of them, so they decided to make it count and create something that had not been seen before, helping to make WolfCop the finest Canadian werewolf movie since Ginger Snaps. For the claws, I go back and forth with grey paint, mixing them up, adding light and dark accordingly. In the film, the skin slides off, so I use a white pen to make the fresh fur underneath look wet, adding trails of slime. I also add blood here and there, along with some remaining remnants of skin. We're approaching the end of the video now, but before you go, I would like to thank you for watching today. I sincerely hope you enjoyed this video and that you liked the finished painting. If so, perhaps you will give the video a thumbs up, or even give subscribing to the channel some consideration. Many other movie paintings can be found on this channel, with many more on the way, and a thumbs up and subscribing is a great way of supporting the channel and my work. And if that's not enough for you, check out the Patreon page. My sincere thanks to all my Patreon supporters for supporting my art. So until next time, good night out there, whatever you are.